I've been having a lot of phenomenal success with people with metabolic disorders like type 2 diabetes and even type 1 diabetes, right? And when I say big time success, I'm talking about people who have been able to drop their blood sugar by 100 points, 150 points, even 200 points within a matter of a week, 2-3 weeks. Right? And that's just within a 12-week program. And it's a hard thing to wrap your mind around, especially due to the fact that my approach to something like diabetes is actually pretty unorthodox. It's about eating more sugar, eating more carbohydrates, which runs counter to what you normally hear. And this is not going to make sense until you understand what diabetes is. Well, specifically type 2, right? Type 2 is a bit of a different thing. You see, if you have perpetually high blood sugar, it's not because you consume too many carbohydrates, right? You don't really benefit from cutting carbohydrates because the issue is not the fact that you consume too much carbohydrates, right? It's not a matter of quantity, it's a matter of movement. When it really comes down to it, something like type 2 diabetes is just a matter of chronic congestion and stagnant blood, right? So really what you need is like a form of metabolic Drano. You've been kind of just congesting your blood, right? Just saturating your blood with proteins, lipids, and glucose, everything all at the same time. And then there is a bit of oxygen deprivation, right? So when you combine an oversaturation of protein or nitrogen from protein, and then you combine that with excess fat in the form of lipids, and then you're chronically dehydrated, right? You're eating a lot of dry foods that are not really good at maintaining an adequate level of hydration. Right? These things lead to a lack of oxygenation, right? This drops your blood oxygenation. And so oxygen is not getting to your cells fast enough. And this leads to chronic oxidation and inflammation. As a result, that leads to poor mitochondrial function and a lack of receptiveness to insulin. Insulin is simply a vehicle to drive glucose into your cells, right? But your cells need to be receptive to the glucose that the insulin is attempting to deliver. You can have enough insulin. You can be injecting insulin, and it doesn't really seem like it's doing much for you, right? A lot of type 2 diabetics are actually injecting insulin when they don't need to be, right? Because the amount of insulin is not the problem. Your pancreas is actually likely producing enough insulin. It's just that your cell's receptiveness or sensitivity to the insulin is very low because of the chronic oxidative stress and inflammation. So there's a few things that you have to do. You have to have a dietary approach and a lifestyle approach that decongests your blood. And a big part of that is increasing hydration. And that facilitates an increase in oxygen uptake. So you get a more oxygenated blood flow. And that really starts to open things up and dilate things. And this can really wake your liver up and help to decongest your liver over time. So you can have a fruit-based diet where you eat a few pounds of fruit throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, you can have a big salad with avocado, nuts and seeds, nutritional yeast, onion, bell pepper, cucumber, things like this, right? Or you can do like a miso soup with, tofu and leeks and greens, cabbage, things like this, right? Or you could do a more hearty meal, red lentils, basmati rice, steamed broccoli, things like this, whatever you want to do for that final meal, something more savory, for example. And basically, this is like a diet that's very rich in vitamin C, malic acid, potassium, citric acid, magnesium, manganese, iron, and copper. And all of these things really serve to enrich your blood, especially when you're eating a lot of foods that have a deep red and a deep green and a deep violet pigmentation, right? These are foods that'll really enrich your blood and improve your cardiovascular health and increase oxygenation. I mean, just significantly increasing the amount of vitamin C and copper in your diet goes a long way towards reversing diabetes. It has nothing to do with cutting carbohydrates. It's not really much of a benefit. Truth be told, you can have a fruit-based diet and that will actually improve your blood sugar numbers faster than fasting. And I know because I work with a lot of diabetics, and fasting a lot of the times ends up being one of the worst things for them. They feel tired, lethargic, fatigued, more joint pain. and the blood sugar is just chronically elevated all day. And it's like, I don't understand. I wake up first thing in the morning, I haven't even eaten anything yet, and my blood sugar's in the high 200s, my blood sugar's in the 300s, and I don't eat anything all day and my blood sugar just remains elevated in the 200s and 300s. I don't understand. And it's like, well, because you can't fix the congestion by just not eating. Some people could, maybe. It's not really a sure shot, because it's not a matter of quantity, it's a matter of movement. You have to move your blood, okay? You have to turn your blood, you have to unsludgify your blood, improve the consistency, the hydration, the oxygenation to really get things flowing again. You take this methodology, you can apply that to high blood pressure, high blood sugar, fatty liver disease, kidney disease. You can apply that to autoimmune disease. You can even apply that to your gut health. These are fundamental principles of how to improve your metabolism. And it's pretty straightforward. So really take some time to think about that, right? What foods can you be adding to your diet that are more rich in water, fiber, iron, copper, vitamin C, things like that? What do those foods look like? I know a few would be things like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, cherries, pomegranate, watermelon, honeydew, kiwis, red and green grapes, right? Just a few to name there. And then to really balance out your hormones, heal your nervous system, you need more of your oranges and yellows, your mangoes, papaya, right? Red lentils, avocado, carrots, butternut squash, these kinds of things. And of course, your dark leafy greens that are a very rich source of omega-3 essential fatty acids and vitamin K. I can go on all day about this, but I'll keep it short. I just wanted to share a little bit with you. And if you want the full playbook, you can join the tribe. I have up a high raw vegan nutrition guide, shows you step-by-step how to plan your meals, how to calculate your calories and macros, etc. Training plans, my Tribe Flex training plan. All you need is body weight and resistance bands and about a good 60 to 90 minutes a week to train. My fasting guide, my fasting course that shows you alternate day fasting, where you can run that for 12 weeks and get significant results from it. And of course, I also teach you when to deploy a strategy like that, right? Because it could be a very good strategy, but you could deploy it at the wrong time. And then of course, my self-development video series, Discover, Assess, Actualize. There's a lot more than that, but there's a lot to dive into when you become a tribe member. So whether you want to book a call with me or join the tribe or anything like that, link will be in the description for those things, and I'll talk to you soon.